guests now, and let's talk quitting work. Apparently 85% of workers are ready to leave their jobs. Is that you?
Yeah, that's me. Goodbye.
Chief Enthusiasm Officer, oh, that's the title, Jeremy Carter from Rapport Leadership Australia joins us now. Good morning.
Thanks for joining us this morning, mate. How are you?
Fantastic, thank you. Great to be here.
Now tell us a little bit about what you guys do at Rapport Leadership Australia.
We do a combination of training and business coaching to really help organisations grow and thrive. At the end of the day, if you want to build a great business, you've got to build a great team.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you tell me what are the top 3 reasons for most Australians to leave their jobs?
Number 1, annoying co-host.
Well, this is so true. You may have heard the saying, people don't quit jobs, they quit bosses.
Oh.
They quit colleagues, and if there's a toxic work environment, that definitely can lead to it. But a study by LinkedIn discovered that in Australia, 3 biggest reasons were lack of advancement.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't see that there were opportunities to move forward, was almost 22% of the reason. To have an unsatisfactory manager was 19.5%, and the lack of challenge was 13.8%. So those are 3 things where people feel if they're not being looked after, if they can't see a path forward, if they're not being stretched and challenged, especially the Gen Ys and millennials, they'll go somewhere else.
How does leaving jobs manage to impact organisations? What's the biggest impact?
How does what, sorry?
What's the biggest impact for organisations though with people leaving their jobs?
Well, studies have found it costs between 2 and 3 times someone's annual salary to actually replace them. And when we let people walk out the door, there's all sorts of intellectual property that goes, there's relationships that walks out the door with them. So we really need to make sure that now, more than ever, we don't take our employees for granted. It's, the number 1 asset of any business is really the team that you build. And, as a business grows, it doesn't necessarily need more team members, sometimes it just needs better. So we need to have mechanisms in place to help our employees stick around, to help them do their very best work and to grow, which will help the company to grow.
So obviously we're in a bit of a weird time though with coronavirus, and a lot of employers have had to let people go. There's a lot of people on JobKeeper, JobSeeker. So does that change this environment at all? Because surely people that do have a job would just be hanging on for dear life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, times will change like the seasons. And when people feel like they're being taken for granted, they will look for other opportunities. And it's amazing the number of people who work in roles and they're desperately unhappy. And what that comes out in is their level of engagement or level of productivity in the workplace. And at the end of the day, for organisations to succeed, they are in a race for talent. You need to be able to attract and you need to be able to retain great people for your organisation.
I think it's about, what's interesting is I think it's about balance as well, because I remember working in a sales role for a company and I was terrible at sales, but in actual fact, I was a pivotal part in keeping up the staff morale. So they ended up firing me from this job, fair enough, because I wasn't meeting my target. However, they offered me a job back 3 months later because they needed someone to balance their staff morale. They were like, we'll lower your budget, it's totally fine. Is that a fairly unusual story to hear?
It is and it isn't, in terms of you need to get your team members working to their strengths. If someone's not good at something, to stick them in that role and think they're going to have to be great at it, that's just a fallacy. And the number 1 way to get people on your team is to get on their team first. And what that requires is for you to actually get to know them, what they're good at, what they're not good at, and look at ways in which you can help getting them work to your strengths. And that's a brilliant example that you shared. When you were working to your strengths, you were doing something that no one else could do. And it lifted the whole team as a result.
Yeah, look, it's certainly an interesting time for employment. Jeremy, how can people find you at the Rapport Leadership?
rapportleadership.com.au or connect with me at LinkedIn. We're here to help and to help people build great organisations. And just one thing in closing, take that time to really make your employees feel special. A little bit of recognition, catching them doing things right, a little bit of encouragement in this environment goes a long way.
Oh, wise words, Jeremy. Thanks for your time and your insight this morning.
You're welcome.
This is a really good time to shout out to our boss, Aaron Young. God, he does a good job, doesn't he?
Shout out, and thanks for the Friday drinks. You're on Ticker Jar.